It has been a very long time since we did a care video on this species, so let's do one. This is the bearded dragon, or Pungoda viscipus care guide. So let's get started. The bearded dragon, the central bearded dragon, or Pungoda viscipus, is native to Australia, and this is a central bearded dragon, so it's native to Central Australia, in the outback, in the Badlands of Australia. They're the most common species of reptile, along with the crested gecko and leopard gecko, but they are not a beginner species. I should say that first. You do extensive research on them because you could get a ton of things wrong with them, and they can get a ton of things that go bad with them. So you're gonna want to make sure their care is perfect.
Nice break the contract because the emerald tree seems to sit on you and they just chill. Like you're just wiggling and moving like you have ADHD or something. So maybe your last video. So let's check your activity.
The Pungoda viscipus, or we'll just call it the bearded dragon because it's a more common name, and it's the central bearded dragon, which is the most common species of bearded dragon. They are a bigger lizard. They're not gonna, as you can tell, they're not gonna be a small emerald tree skink, leopard gecko, crested gecko, green keelbill lizard, whatever. They're a bigger lizard. I would call them a medium-sized lizard. Oh my goodness, stop. I wouldn't say bare minimum, but as a minimum of 4x2x2. I would even go almost to saying like an 80-gallon would be fine. But 4x2x2 is the most common information I see with bearded dragons and their size. They cannot live in a 40-gallon. This was the first thing that was wrong with my old care guide. I said they could live in a 40-gallon. They cannot. I was very wrong, and I'm very sorry I put my animal through that. But now, look at her beautiful enclosure. It's nice, she loves it, and yeah. So, they're gonna need a 4x2x2. You can build it out like how we built this one out with substrate. You got plants in there that are dying, and then you got this really cool background, which we show you how to do in that video also. PVC enclosures is probably the best way to go. They don't really make glass 4x2x2s, and PVC just looks nicer, it's lighter, and it's just a whole lot better to do. So there's many options you can do. One option, if you want to look into, is cages, although they're fairly pricey, but there's that company, and then there's also custom reptile habitats, also has 4x2x2s for a bearded dragon. You have your enclosure ready. I recommend doing at least a substrate, not paper towel. I did paper towel for a long time, and I realized that paper towel it's just not natural enough. This is completely natural for the bearded dragon. They can dig, they can run around, they can feel their hands sink into the substrate. This is a million times better than tile or paper towel. But please do not use reptile carpet. That is probably one of the worst things you could do for your beard. So bad for your bearded dragon because it's a breeding ground for bacteria. I mean, they poop, and the liquids from their poop are gonna seep into the ground, and then you may clean it up, do whatever, but you're gonna have to constantly almost steam clean it. So it's a lot of work for pretty much nothing. Plus it'll rip their nails out and it'll do some damage to their hands, which we really don't want. So reptile carpet shouldn't even be said as a reptile product. It's really bad for the animals. But anyway, on to the next topic. Now this is a bit of a controversial one, but you might want to add a water bowl. I add a water bowl for my lizard, and I've seen her drink from it a few times. It's usually after she's bathed in it almost. She doesn't drink from it normally. They can get most of their nutrients from their feeders, their food, that's where they can get their hydration from. And if a water bowl is causing too much humidity, because they're dry species, you can want to keep it dry, then I would remove it and I just wouldn't add a water bowl. And they can just get their nutrients and their hydration from the water. The thing with your enclosure that you're gonna want is vertical. You're not gonna just want rocks and stuff about up to here. You're gonna want, if you can, bring stuff to the very top, because they love to climb. And they're almost semi-arboreal, I would say. They like to, in the wild, they like to sit on the sides of trees and just sit there and bask. So I really think you should have a bit of height like I do here. As you can see, there's a ramp and then a basking spot. And then even the background, she can climb right to the top. Now we're gonna talk about heating and lighting, a very, very crucial topic to bearded dragons. For heating, I use a halogen 100 watt, and it gets to a basking spot to about 100, 105, where they like it at. Fahrenheit, that is, not Celsius. Don't cook your bearded dragon. And then their ambient temperature is gonna be at like 70 to 80 degrees. They like it somewhere in there. I keep mine at 75, so I hit right in the middle, and she does perfectly fine. You're also gonna need UVB, linear. Do not use coil UVB. Coil UVB, they bring the UVB into one fixed location, unless you have those canopy toppers. But if you don't, they're sending the UV into one location. And you're gonna want UV covering almost 100% of your tank. You do want areas where they can escape. Like if you look, this is a slate up here, this little ledge, and she can get underneath and she can escape both the heat and the UVB. So it's something you really need to have an area where they can escape the UVB, but you're gonna need a lot of UVB to cover the tank. I use an Arcadia T8. I believe this is a 14%. The desert. I think it's actually the dragon UV, and it works really well. This is really pricey, but it's worth it. 150% worth it, because this lasts for over a year. Not over a year, it lasts 12 months. But it's a lot better than those other UVB that only really last 6 months. So this brand, Arcadia, both these are Arcadia, both lights, they're really well. And I've had this light solely for about a year. It's been working. Something you're gonna wanna watch out for when you're filming and your dragon is on the ground. Get back here. Oh my goodness. Please don't do that. Now, to tell you the honest truth, heating and lighting is probably the second most expensive. Whole part of a bearded dragon care, of course, their enclosure is gonna be the most expensive. But since you have to upkeep with UVB and changing it every 12 months, that can get expensive. These lights are like, I think $50 each, just the light. This whole compactor with the light was like over $100 in that range, maybe 120 to 110, I'd say. But next we want to talk about basic care for bearded dragons. That is just basic care. You're gonna want, anytime they poop in the tank, bearded dragons need a clean tank. Bacteria will grow. You don't want that. And I don't know why, but bearded dragons just go crazy if there's poop in their tank and you don't clean it right away, because it smells really bad. But when you have, oh, she's pooping right now actually. Prices of it. She pooped in her tank without pooping on the ground, and it's all clean, so it's good. So you're gonna need to change poop every time they poop, because that's really important since they don't like it. You're also going to need to feed them just about every day. Every once in a while, I'll skip a day just so it's kind of like in nature how they're not gonna get food every single day. So I'll just skip one day. They're omnivores. They eat both vegetation and protein. So the easiest way to know how much to give them, as babies, you're going to need to give them, I believe it's 80% protein and 20% greens. And then as they get older, you're gonna need to give them 80% greens and 20% protein. So the easiest way to remember how to kind of feed them. You can give them. I feed her protein just about every time I feed her, but I just feed her less. I don't feed her the whole time. You can't eat fruit, but just very little amounts because they can get fat and overweight. They get a bunch of problems if they eat fruit solely. Like their teeth will fall out, and you just don't want that because they go through only one set of teeth. So the teeth that the baby have when they're in the egg and they hatch out of the egg, and to when they die, that's the only teeth they're gonna get. They're not gonna get any more. A whole list of safe and not safe foods you can offer your dragons. I'll post that link in the description below so you can just get a general idea of what they can and cannot eat. Now that is the care guide. It's a simple, basic care on how to care for your dragon. Obviously, don't just listen to me. Please get a bunch of different opinions on how to care for bearded dragons, because I'm not the only one who has a bearded dragon, believe it or not, and there's other opinions on how to care for them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know, do you have a bearded dragon? Do you like bearded dragons? Do you want me to do more bearded dragon content? I would love to know. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and hit the little bell so you know when I post. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.